YouTube, what's happening with it, man? Hey, look, you know the motto, man. Go over there, subscribe, share, like, hit me with a thumbs up. Let me know I'm kicking my stuff. This right here, the young homie said, man, you ever ran into some burnt out Hoovers? I said, yeah, I ran across a nigga named Hoover D. That was like one of them burnt out, obnoxious, crip type niggas, homie. And how I run across Hoover D is in the Los Angeles County Jail, man. They throw me up on one of them floors, and I believe it might be a 6-man cell or some shit like that, homie. And I remember, I fall to the county jail, land up on one of them floors, and I fall in the cell. It's Hoover D in there, his homeboy twin, another older brother that they had snatched up under them, and myself, I believe. I make the fourth head up in there, homie. And Hoover D was one of them motherfuckers, homie. Short, stocky, big old head, raspy voice, tradey ass, raspy voice ass niggas, homie. And when I first fall up in there and shit, you know what I'm saying, like a normal greeting in a cell, niggas hit me up with they hood. I get a hood up, push the turf, and commence to gelling, homie. Commence to gelling and shit, you know. But as days roll into gelling inside the cell with Hoover D and his homeboy, this nigga was one of them niggas that wake up in the mornings, roll a mat back, and get the beating and thumping on the bunks loud as a motherfucking. This when East Siders and the tradie had they thing going on. So he'd get the East Siders come out and play. He had that little raspy crip voice, and he'd get the beating, boom, 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 like, loud as a motherfucker. Anybody that jail know what I mean about how a nigga get on there and put all this pressure and might into the beating on the bunk, getting the sound and shit. So I'm one of them niggas, homie. I'm like, days going on. I'm like, nigga, the fuck is wrong with this nigga? With this fucking morning ritual, beating the shit out the bunks and rapping and rap about 3 songs. This is morning ritual. He rap damn near 2 or 3 East Side Tradie them songs, homie. And he beat the shit out the bunks, homie. So, I think he used to go on visits or somehow, homie. He'd leave the cell. And everybody know if you been in the cell with like a burnt out nigga, when that one nigga leave, niggas get the gossiping about the nigga, not saying his homeboy was treason against him, gossiping about it behind his back. But I used to tell his homeboy, like, man, like nigga might gotta get down with your homeboy, homie. This is what I used to tell him. I'm like, nigga, all that beating on the bunk, like somebody gotta tell this nigga something. This how we used to talk when this nigga leave the cell, because he was like one of the boys just wild niggas and shit. So we cut it up, you know what I'm saying? He come back, you know what I'm saying? He do the next morning, he doing his thing again, homie. This about a week or 2 worth of this bullshit. So he another time come up, he leave again. So I'm getting at his homeboy twin. I'm like, twin, homie. But when you get up in them cells, you get a cool little squad. Nobody want nobody to separate. You don't want nobody else to come in. You don't know how niggas fun. We all had kind of built a little rapport amongst each other in that motherfucker. So I'm telling this homie, I'm like, man, shit, man. I'm knowing I can't whoop this nigga Hoover D. But I'm saying, like, man, a nigga might gotta take a chance of getting his ass kicked and going up, homie. So I remember the older brother that was there, he was kind of heavy set, ponytail, cool brother with a little style and shit they had pulled up under them. He like, man, just leave that shit alone, man. We gelling, we cool up in this motherfucker. Let's just leave it alone, homie. So I'm like, bam. So we gossip again about this nigga once he leaves. So bam. Next day hit, maybe a couple more days into it, he on this ritual, homie, beating the shit out the bunks and bumping his East Siders and shit, pumping it up. But I'm like, nigga, it be early in the morning, damn near. So I go on and confront the nigga. I'm like, check this out, Hoover D. A nigga might just got to get mixed on me, because all that bump beating and shit on the bunks I ain't with that shit, homie. You know what I'm saying? We might gotta get down. Matter of fact, I was like, we might gotta get down or some shit. And he was like, nigga, ain't no get down, nigga. You gonna get demolished, nigga. You know, he had that little raspy voice. So I'm like, nigga, whatever. Well, I gotta just get demolished, homie, because I ain't feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? That rudeness, homie. So anyway, homie, I don't know what happened, homie. You know, that shit wound up just simmering down that night. So the next morning, I remember he doing that shit, and I kind of like woke up and looked, and he kind of stopped, but he still was like, you know, rapping his music without the beat and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if we had like a little stare out, a couple little words and shit, but our shit kind of got at a minimum, homie. You know, our shit got at a minimum. So I remember maybe a couple more days, homie, I wind up getting called. I don't know whether to go to another facility or the prison and shit. So I remember they called me, cracked the gates and shit, and I was leaving, having my shit together, getting ready in the process of leaving. And I remember that nigga Hoover D was like, "Hey, G-Have." I'm like, "What's up, homie?" He like, "Come here, cuz." I'm like, "Man, what's bragging?" He like, "Come here, nigga. Give me a hug, nigga." Nigga wind up giving me a hug. He like, "Nigga, I know I was crazy, nigga, burnt out, but I like your little ass, nigga, on Hoover." You know what I'm saying? And that's a story I had with a nigga named Hoover D, man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was crazy, obnoxious nigga, used to beat on the bunk. And I'm like, nigga, somebody ought to tell this nigga something. So I wound up telling him something. The nigga was, threatening, like, nigga, I'm like, nigga, we gotta get in. He like, nigga, I'm gonna demolish you, but we wind up patching it up. I thought it was ill feelings. Come to find out I was leaving, the nigga dug my style and took kind of like a liking to a nigga. 89 on up, homie, kicking G shit, not Ye shit, and serving motherfuckers with real content. So that's to my people. That's the story I got of a nigga from Hoover D.